Hi, my name is Elisa. Ted and I met at Alhambra. I was attending my cousin Audrey's birthday party, and I was dancing, and there was another young lady on the dance floor that was dancing by the name of April, and she was dancing with a friend of hers, JC.
First time I saw her, I was sitting at this place. I really didn't want to be there, so just kind of hanging out, and there was a guy in our group that was hanging out, and he brings this girl over to this to the table, and he's just hanging out with this girl, and I was like, damn, like, how did the guy get this girl over there? And so next thing I know, she's walking away. So I was like, okay, no big deal. I guess nothing happens.
The lights went up and we were about to leave, and I saw April standing with Ted. And I recognized Ted because we had attended judicial process in 2001.
I saw her, I introduced myself. It was immediate chemistry. It was like I had known her, and that was actually my line.
Ted came up and said, this is going to sound like a pickup line, but you look very familiar. So I thought, oh my God, yes I do. I said, I had you for judicial process in 2001. He stood there and looked at me for a few seconds and said,
wow, super stalker. And so after that, I told her, no, I'm sorry, I don't remember you. And oh man, I think that hit her pretty hard. So
until this day, I give him heat about, this isn't a pickup line, but you look familiar. Yeah, sure, Ted. Of course I look familiar because you loved me since judicial process. Anyhow, he definitely made the first move. We always joked that was the line that really hooked me.
We talked the rest of the night. We kind of just asked each other questions, like if she'd been my friend for years. And I got her phone number, and we split ways. Later that night, she sent me a text. It's Elisa with a S, not a Z, but I already knew that.
From that day on, he courted me, and we are now getting married.
There's something about when you just know, and the searching stops because you finally found home. So may I hold your hand for the rest of our lives, because loving you has made me realize there's no other hand I'd rather hold.
My first thought of Ted was he's a smart nerd. I remember him from judicial process. He was always in great shape, had a great body, but like I said, he sat in the front of the class, so I knew he was smart.
The first time I saw Elisa, the first thought I had was, this girl looks exciting. She's peppy, she's fun, she's energetic. I mean, it was, I think, 2:30 in the morning, and it seemed like it was maybe noon for her, and she was, just talking, very well spoken, very well mannered, and just a beautiful person to talk to, and very interesting. So that's what interested me, was how fun and exciting she seemed that evening.
So when I saw him, he was rocking some glasses, a sweater because it was in November, and I just remember thinking, man, he's hot and probably smart.
And sometimes there'll be those kinds of days like Mama said, and days when all the world will envy what we have, but I promise you that through thick and thin, through the good and bad, I'll be right by your side.
Ted proposed to me in a very unique manner. If you know anything about me, you know that I am on top of my game. It's very hard to surprise me. And so he was up against a lot to try to surprise me.
Every time I tried to plan something or go somewhere, it just wouldn't happen. So one day, and maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks had passed, I had already bought this big, beautiful ring, and I was tired of it, and it was just, my leg was itchy of holding it in my pocket all the time. So we hung out at the house one night. We had a date night at the house, which is our favorite thing to do. And we went to bed. I woke up in the morning. She went out with her hair all over the place and goes and she's cleaning up something. Goes to the kitchen. And I'm in my sleepwear, and I just decided, I was like, you know what? This is the morning I'm going to do it.
I had gotten up and I went to go check on the puppies and let them out, and I was in the guest restroom, and I was talking away about what plans we had for the day, and I was saying, Ted, we could do this and we could do that, and I never heard him say anything. So at some point I said, Ted, are you okay, babe?
She's yelling some gibberish, and I'm just kind of like answering. So I get on my knee, and I can hear her voice getting closer from the hallway. I'm on my knee, she walks in, and she just like froze.
And there was Ted in a white muscle shirt and his underwear, straight out of bed, in not a graceful kneel, but a full Prince kneel. I swear it looked like he was doing a workout lunge. And he had this gorgeous, it looked like a coffin, a mini coffin. It was beautifully polished, and it was open, and inside was this amazing ring. And he said, I've waited for you my whole life. I'm such a baby. He said, I waited for you my whole life. Will you marry me?
Her reaction was pretty amazing. She started shaking, kind of quivering in one spot. She was covering her face. She started crying. And I went up to her. I hugged her. I don't think I was wearing tighty whities, but whatever it was, I went ahead and I hugged her. And it was just amazing. I think it was like the longest, most passionate hug I've ever had with her.
And I said yes. And that's how we proposed.
There's no other hand I'd rather hold, no other warmth to chase away my cold, no other life I'd rather share, no other home unless you're there.
20 years from now, I'd like Ted to know that I will always love him. I still love him. But if he keeps being late, I'm not sure. It might come down just a slight bit. No, I will always be his #1 fan. And I hope that he knows that I'm his best friend, and we will manage anything that may come about. So just how much he means to me. This day hopefully will only grow and become more strong, which I don't even know if that's possible. So that's what I'd like him to know 20 years from now.
I want her to know that she's still my best friend. And I want her to know that I am still madly in love with her, and that I'll always be with her. And that those 20 years were incredible, but I'm hoping and going to try the hardest to make the next 20 years even more incredible than the first 20.